now what I'm doing is going through all of the prospectus notes from my chair. And one of the things that I get dinged on is using the same word more than one time in a sentence. So I'm going to go through and highlight all the instances that I see myself before she sees and does anything about it. So after that short section of just going through to see the duplicates of 3 or 4 major words that I know that I repeat a lot. Turn that back off. These are the edits that I need to make. I highlighted them different colors so I know what it pertains to that I need to change. But these are all the edits that I need to make. Not to mention, I then have to go through and update this table because I need to make some other edits that aren't highlighted up here, which are to my research questions. So basically, at this stage of the game, what needs to happen is that I need to go through and figure out how to reword all of these sentences. Whether it be that maybe I don't have the right subject to start the sentence, because sometimes that is a shortcoming that I have. It has a subject, of course, that starts the sentence, but it may not be the correct subject that needs to start the sentence, which is why there are multiple instances of the same word. Now, we're not talking like words that are in my topic area. So we're not talking, my topic is on artificial intelligence and court systems. So artificial intelligence twice in a sentence is not an issue. Well, that is an issue. But like having artificial intelligence all the way through here, more than one time in a paragraph, not an issue. Having evidence more than one time in a paragraph, not an issue. Court cases more than one time in a paragraph, not an issue. Having more than 15 instances of the same word in a document other than like my topic area words, that's an issue. So I already have an issue. Now like prepositions, like 2. You're going to have more than 15. 4. You're going to have more than 15. By, within. Those instances, you're going to have more than that. But outside of that, using the same word, like facilitate. If I use facilitate more than 15 times, that is going to be an issue for my chair. That is not a word that I need to be using. It is considered lazy writing. It is not considered scholarly. Another good one, transparent. Should not be using that more than 15 times. Acquisition. Should, like these nuanced words that I don't necessarily have to use should not be in there. So like when I see words, especially like buzzwords, I'll put in a quick navigation search to see how many times I've used them. And at this point, I've done so many spellings. Like acquisition, I've only used twice. Acquisition has been used twice. So it's good. I can continue on. As long as it's not more than 15 times, we're good. My issues for this draft, this is my, let me pull up my prospectus document. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is my 18th draft. of this document. It is a repetitive process. It is a time-consuming process. It is a nerve-wracking process because it racks my nerves all the time. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have done some overnighters on this, and it's still not done. Everybody's chair is different, and so the requirements will be a little different. My chair is very particular, so I have to follow the rules to a T. Even rules that I don't know are rules. So that makes it an issue. So sometimes I just have to ask her, like, specifics of how I should be writing. Because at this stage in the game, a lot of professors just assume that you know this information, or are under the impression that you should know it, whether someone's taught it to you or not, because this is like doctoral level writing. We've moved past college level writing into doctoral scholarly writing, so you should be able to pick up on these nuances. Is basically the understanding. It's not an understanding because people don't write like this. Let's just be honest. Normal people do not write like this. I work under several people with PhDs, and they do not write like this. They know how to write like this if they should need to do it again, but they don't write like this. I have an article that is peer reviewed and published. It is not written like this. Same thing for a lot of the works that we do together at my job. Not written like this. Are they peer reviewed? They are absolutely peer reviewed works. They're not written like this. Are they in academic journals? They are absolutely in academic journals, but they're not written like this. The dissertation process is very particular and very specific and very nuanced to who your chair is, because certain chairs will pass things, other chairs will not. My chair is one of those that she will not pass things. She's very particular. She can find things. You can think you found everything, but still you got to go back, because I know part of my issue is I'll go down my checklist of all of her feedback, and then I'll forget something on the flip side. Like, I'll go through each checklist item, but after I've gone through each checklist item, I need to go back again for the things that I've already fixed, because it might not be fixed anymore. For instance, I'll let you see some of her feedback. So this is feedback from our last call that I need to go through and update. As you can see, some of these are crossed off. Some of these have been done, but I didn't necessarily want to cross them off because there are things that are going to be affected once I do it again. For instance, let me slide back up. We can go through my first prospectus call. These were the things she wanted me to change. So it's a lot fewer examples now than was done then. However, when you update these things, sometimes it messes up everything. Like this, for instance, is a one that comes up a lot. Last line in every paragraph should end in a full or midline sentence. If you do this before you do any of the other correction, it's going to throw it off. I'll give you an example. Let us scroll up and see a good example. Okay, for example, this is my data collection instrument section. When I went through this, I changed 2 sentences. These were the 2 sentences that I updated because an abbreviation cannot start a sentence per APA 7th edition guidelines. When I changed these 2 sentences so that the abbreviations, which these are considered abbreviations, and we'll come back to that because I have another thing about abbreviations, but when I changed these 2 sentences, reworded them, it then pushed this line over because 2 things needed to happen. I needed to change the sentences to no longer start with this abbreviation, and any abbreviation that I have, I need to write it out fully and then put the abbreviation, and then I can use it as an abbreviation from then on. You cannot use an abbreviation without introducing it. So right here you see database of AI litigation, Dale in parentheses. It is now introduced. So now I can just use Dale. AI incident database, and I introduced it and then add the abbreviations. Now I can use the abbreviation, but the abbreviation cannot start the sentence. So that changed the configuration of my paragraph. Also, I didn't realize at the time when I was writing this that the SPSS software that I use for quantitative data analysis is an abbreviation. So I had to write out introducing IBM statistical package for social sciences and then introduce the abbreviation. So now I can use SPSS. When I changed those three things without noticing it, because I think I had it like somewhere around this, because I changed this first and then I changed those. When I changed all three of these, it pushed this to the next line. That is not midway. How does she know it's not midway? References is in the middle. It does not meet references. It's not in the middle. So in order to navigate that, fun, I have to go through, and these are like supposed to be short turnarounds, but it takes me a while because my brain is not used to this. So what I'll have to do is change my sentences, figure out what the subject is, and change it so that the subject, the true subject of the sentence, is starting the sentence and immediately followed by a verb. Run-on sentences are not allowed. Starting with fluffers are not allowed. So that in conclusion, furthermore, moreover, nevertheless, however, primarily, all of those that start with a comma, I can't use any of those. So those are kicked to the curb. I have to start with the subject and the verb. So, for instance, because I need to redo this section. Let me highlight this too. Because we're going to go through some other issues. I just highlighted a whole paragraph for another issue that I'll let you guys know. But, for instance, misinformation and manipulation are byproducts. Subject, verb. The subject, misinformation and manipulation. Verb, are. Researchers uncovered. Subject, researchers. Verb, uncovered. Or some other good ones. Predictive policing is. Subject, predictive policing. Verb, is. ChatGPT was. ChatGPT, subject, was, verb. Artificial intelligence has been integrated. Artificial intelligence, subject, has been integrated, verb. So I have to do it like that. I can't use but. But is another one of those fluffer words. It changes the trajectory of a sentence. Can't use it. Because it's storytelling. Can't use that word either. So these are a lot of the instances where I'm dinged in my reviews. A large part of what makes this so hard and why these nuances are so like bothersome to my spirit is because of this paragraph that I just highlighted. So I'll show you. This whole paragraph has to be rewritten. Systems demonstrate. Explanations illuminate. Risk assessments are refined. That one's fine. Contextual evidence reveals. Subsequent cases inform. All of that has to be rewritten. I know you're like, Brittany, why does it have to be rewritten? It's a subject and a verb. A large part of why my writing suffers at the doctoral level is because I use anthropomorphisms or personification, which means assigning human-like qualities to non-human entities or things. So systems cannot demonstrate anything. They don't have the ability to do that. I know that this is what we were taught and how we were taught to write, but that is incorrect at the doctoral dissertation level. Therefore, I have to rewrite that sentence, find the true subject of that sentence, or use a different verb that can be assigned to a non-human entity. Explanations illuminate. Explanations cannot illuminate things. They don't have that ability. Subsequent cases inform. Cases cannot inform anything. People inform things with cases. People demonstrate things through the use of systems. These are things that I have to change. Contextual evidence cannot reveal anything. You can reveal things through the use of contextual evidence. So these are some of the reasons that my dissertation is getting on my last nerve, because this is like second nature to me to write like this. And when I read it, I don't see a problem, because in my brain, these sentences are based on the functions of those things. So one of the lines that is highlighted, I highlight in yellow anthropomorphisms to redo. So that's why at the bottom there is a yellow research encompasses details. Records encompass details. Records cannot encompass anything. So I have to remove that as well. So these are all things that I have to change. And then after I change all of those things, I have to double check that nothing else there needs to be changed as far as my wording goes. Then after that, I have to go back and make sure that that last line of the paragraph is midway to full way through. Preferably full way over midway. Full way, my chair tends to leave it alone. Midway, she wants to read stuff. That's just what it is. So I'll go back and do that. But it's annoying more than anything, quite honestly, to go through these things and have to learn how to write again when I never lost the way of writing again. But yeah, that's where we are. Onward to other things. Work got me messed up. Having to rearrange my entire work life in an hour or less is generally what my work day looks like. So much fun. Great. Right now I'm trying to do a similar process to the perspective process that I told y'all about. I'm trying to get my head around the ideas of others, because that's really what it comes down to. So I am trying my best to marry ideas together in a seamless way where everybody can be included and happy. I'm trying to create cohesion. I am trying to create happiness and joy. I am trying to muster up the strength to do this stuff. Oh my God. Somebody send me a Red Bull. Juneberry, preferably. I don't know who recommended this adulting thing. Okay? It's a bit ghetto. It's hard but ghetto, darling. It's hard but ghetto. Without thou, my Frederick, who shall come to take me from this savage lifestyle? Because it's ghetto. 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 You know, I need my hair done. Let's take a break. Let us take a break. And let's book an appointment to get my hair done. 2 hours. Of course, she is booked and busy until the day before one of my trips. Hold on. See what she got going on. She's booked and busy. I'm gonna have it notify me if she has any openings because I need my hair. I don't know why I didn't just schedule for me to get my hair done. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I definitely need my hair done. It's giving don't nobody love me. That's what it's giving, and that's not true. I am loved by many. Didn't say all, but definitely many. Yes. I just thought of something. Okay, good. Okay, work day officially over. I'm working on fixing all these problems that were in my dissertation. So I'm back on that. It's evening, 8 o'clock. I have about, let's count with me. Elmo's World. I have about, we're starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections to go of the edits that we were working on earlier. After that, unfortunately for me, I didn't have to go in and add 2. First of all, I have to change 1 question because I'm adding 2 more questions, 2 more research questions. So me and my chair decided that it would be better to break up my quantitative question number 3 into 3 separate questions because I'm asking about application type, and there's 3 different application types that I'm asking about. And so it just makes more sense to break those up, and I have more quantitative data to work with when it comes to actually writing the dissertation part, because sometimes that can be a hefty problem, is having too many or too little, too few. There we go. Too few data points. You can tell my brain is fried, right? Yeah, that last minute project earlier today at work really fried my brain. So, trying to now switch gears back to this is like, I did start working on this, so I'm halfway through. I went 8, did that before I started working on the other half because I already knew once I get started on the other half, wasn't going to make it. I'm mostly done with my water for the day. I'm going to try to finish this before 9 o'clock because if I finish it after then, I'm going to be up all night going to the bathroom. So, cheers to the water. And I just discovered I was actually thirsty. Forgive me. But I'm trying to do better here. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely insane. But I'm going to finish these. After I finish these, I got to figure out what I want to do for my blog series for the center. So on a personal note, I'm starting a community center, everybody. Yay! This endeavor has been long-standing since I was in college. And so this has always been an outstanding commitment for me because this is something that I wanted to do since then, and I was going to do it. I just had to find the right resources to do it. And now I'm ready to do it. So I'm going to do it. But yeah, gotta actually do it. That's wild. So I'm gonna do that. But first, before I do that, let's write this good old discussion to my chair to let her know that I'm still working on this, because you gotta post early in the week, which means by Wednesday. So I'm going to let her know that I am still working on this, because what is going to happen is tonight I'm going to finish these things that I just told you about. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is go back in. Scratch that, back tonight. Tonight, I'm going to fix those things that I said I was going to fix. Sorry, trying to organize in my brain. Neurodivergence. I'm going to do all the things that I said I was going to fix, and then I'm going to go back through line by line and figure out if I have any anthropomorphisms in here. If I do, and I can recognize it, I'm going to highlight it in yellow. Then in the morning, I'm going to go back in here and change all of the yellow sentences so that they are not anthropomorphic. And then I am going to go in and make sure that none of the sentences that hang over are hangovers, basically. Make sure none of them are hangovers, meaning they're not that midway to full line that I talked about, shooting for the full line. So I'm going to try to fill in all the line. I already did the look for 2 words of the same sentence. That's what I'm fixing now. Let's go through the checklist together. As far as my actual research questions go, this is what I was referring to. Let's go to the actual research question section. So, as you can see here, I have spaces between each of these. She wants me to remove them. Also, she wants me, I'm going to put my thing in review mode. She wants me to scratch this out because it's already noted above, so I don't need to rewrite it. It just let me delete it without suggestion, and that's crazy. Is my track changes on? Okay, my track changes wasn't on, so it did it. So yeah, all of these sections of my research questions, I have to remove the actual research question from the paragraph because it's not necessary because it is above. So all of those must be removed. This one I've already removed it, so I just have to do the edits that I had in there. But as you can see in this question, these are my application types. I have to write one for each one of these. So I'm going to separate them out, and I'm going to do that. We also talked about whether or not, we also talk about separating socioeconomic status and disability status into 2 separate questions, which is why that parse out the different constructs came up. So that is what I'm going to be doing for the next hour and a half. And then we'll be done with that. The major parts are done. It's written. This part is just minor edits that need to be done. But before I do anything, what I am going to do is go in and put in all the things that I have worked on and that I'm currently working on right now to my discussion posts, just to let my chair know that, hey, I've been doing the work. I'm going to continue to do the work, and you can expect that this is going to be turned in tomorrow. Her and I have pretty good communication. So when I tell her I'm going to do stuff, she knows I'm going to do it. And she agrees with me doing it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and listen. let's go through that together, shall we? Let us write this discussion post. So this discussion post will go into this week 8, right up in here. So to start that discussion post, we're going to go back to our prospectus notes document. I'm going to scroll up to my student update to get that version. This was week 7. We are now in week 8. Well, actually, I don't want to use that because I turned in something last time. We got week 6 up here. Yeah. Week 6 student update. I don't want to use that one either. Let's go to week 4 and see. Yeah. This is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to grab this, copy this, bring that down here, paste it right here. It's already updated as a heading. So all I need to do is change this to week 8 first off, and then scroll back up to my table of contents. And as you can see here, it's still week 7 is the last thing in my table of contents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, refresh it, and now week 8 shows up in my table of contents here. So now when I need to, I can just go straight there. So I'm going to start with all of those things that I had said I'd done. But first, I'm just going to let her know. Right here at the bottom. And am going to Now that this is finished, I'm going to transfer that over here. Oh no, my header didn't transfer. I got to include this header for every one of my entries. Okay. Don't mind many of these. A lot of these are just Grammarly that I have on in the background telling me things are wrong because they would have wrote it in a way that would have been anthropomorphic. So now that's done. I'm going to post this. I had posted early in the week. These are the things that I have done or will do tonight. These are the things that I'm going to do tomorrow. So now to actually do the things. And now I'm going to change this one too. Does impact. Put it back up one more time. Those are done. Changed influence to impact. Did not reiterate the question in the paragraph. Remove spaces between the research questions. And that is what we wanted to accomplish in this 30 minutes, and that's what we did. So that is good to go. Everything we said we're going to do tonight, we did. So yeah, today has been a successful day of working on the prospectus. Everything else will be done tomorrow. Wish me luck tomorrow. So, I said I was done. Messed around and worked till 10:30. So, my bad. But now that I have finished for the night, I'm in a pretty good place to finish up in the morning. I am going to wind down to a podcast that I like and some ice cream. Because I deserve that. Stay tuned.